Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're trying to improve your listening skill, this challenge is for you. Follow and listen to this challenge every day, and I promise your English will be a lot better after 30 days. Are you ready? Today's story is called ELIAS and his paper crafts, a story of hope. ELIAS was a man who lived in a small, crowded city, and his life was full of very hard work. He rented a small, cold room in a building far from the nice parts of the town. ELIAS was truly poor because he did not have many clothes, and he rarely had enough good food to eat every day. His mother was old and weak, and sometimes she became sick, which made ELIAS worry about her health all the time. ELIAS worked hard every single day because he had a big, clear dream. He wanted to be rich. He wanted to buy a big, warm house for his mother, so she would never be cold or sad again. ELIAS had a job at a very large shop right in the city center, which required him to work many hours. His job was to clean the dirty floors and wash the tall, dusty windows of the building, which was very tiring work. He started cleaning at 6 in the morning when the sky was still dark, and he finished his job late at night, when most people were already sleeping. The owner of the shop, a man named Mr. Victor, was not a kind man at all, and he often yelled at ELIAS for small mistakes. Mr. Victor gave ELIAS very little money for all the long, difficult hours he worked every week. ELIAS had a special, small wooden box where he tried to save his money, putting the few coins inside every time he was paid. He hoped that one day the small box would be completely full of money, but every month the box became almost empty again. This happened because his mother often needed food. She needed new warm clothes for the cold weather, and sometimes she needed very expensive medicine. The sight of the empty wooden box always made ELIAS feel sad and sometimes angry, and he often thought, I work so hard, but why is my wooden box always empty and never full? One very cold afternoon, in the late autumn, ELIAS was walking back home, and he was tired and cold from his long day of cleaning. He stopped near the busy market street, where he saw a kind woman selling beautiful fresh flowers in a small basket. People stopped to talk to her. They smiled when they bought a flower or two, and soon the woman's basket was empty. The woman had many coins in her apron pocket, which made ELIAS stop and think hard. ELIAS suddenly had a new idea, because he realized he was doing the wrong kind of work. He thought, I clean dirty floors for Mr. Victor, and I get very low money, so I must try to sell something. Maybe I can sell something small that makes people happy, just like the flower woman does. This new thought gave ELIAS a small feeling of hope and excitement inside his tired heart. ELIAS went quickly back to his small room and looked at his wooden box, which was almost completely empty, but he found a few coins left inside. He took all of the last coins and decided not to buy food that night because his plan was more important. He walked to a large street shop and used the coins to buy colorful paper and many small, shiny ribbons. The very next morning, ELIAS did not go to Mr. Victor's shop for cleaning. He felt afraid, but he knew he must follow his new plan. He went to the market street, but he did not stand near the flower woman. Instead, he found a quiet corner near a clean, large park. He sat down on a small stool and took out the paper and the ribbons, and he began to fold them into small paper stars and delicate paper birds. He had learned how to make these small crafts from an old book he found. The work was slow because it needed much focus, but he was good with his careful hands. The first day was very difficult and disappointing because no one stopped to talk to ELIAS. People walked by quickly and did not even see the small man with the small, quiet paper things on the ground. ELIAS became very hungry and cold, and he felt sad, thinking, my new plan is truly bad, and I should go back to cleaning the shop. But the second morning, ELIAS decided to go back to the park corner, because he still had hope. He arranged the paper stars on a clean small blanket, and they looked bright and pretty in the morning sunlight. After a long wait, an old woman with a small, happy dog stopped to look at the stars, and she had a kind face. What are these small things? She asked ELIAS with a gentle voice. They are paper stars, ELIAS said quietly, feeling a bit nervous. They are for good luck and happiness. The old woman smiled a wide, warm smile. I like luck, she said happily. She picked a small red star and gave Elias one small coin for it. ELIAS's heart felt warm and light, because it was the first coin he had earned all by himself. It was only one coin, but it was his own coin, earned by his own hands and his own idea. In the next hour, a young man stopped quickly and bought a blue paper bird for his girlfriend, because he thought it was a sweet, small gift. Then, a busy mother bought 2 paper stars for her 2 children. Slowly, the small amount of money started to come in, and it was more money than Mr. Victor ever gave him for cleaning. That night, Elias was able to buy some good food, and he was full for the first time in a long time. He put the extra, valuable coins in his wooden box, and he listened to the happy, soft sound they made when they fell inside. Elias kept going back to the park corner every single day. And he made more stars, more birds, and sometimes even small paper boats. He learned to be very friendly, and he always smiled at all the people who passed by. More and more people started to stop because they remembered the quiet man with the small gifts for good luck. After one long month, the small wooden box was half full of coins and small bills, which was an amazing thing. Elias could not believe the success, and he used some of the money to buy his mother new, warm socks and better, more effective medicine. His mother gave him the biggest, happiest smile he had ever seen. One day, a man who worked for a big wedding planner stopped at the stall, very interested in ELIAS's skills. "I need 1,000 small white paper doves," the man said seriously. "They must be ready in 2 weeks, and I will pay you a very large amount of money." This was the biggest challenge Elias had ever faced, and it felt very scary. He needed more paper, more glue, and much more time than he had. He had to work almost all day and all night, sleeping only for a few hours. His fingers hurt much more, but he kept working, thinking only of his dream. He asked his kind mother to help him fold the easiest parts, and she was happy to help her brave son. Elias worked hard for 14 difficult days and nights. And finally, he finished all 1,000 white paper doves. The wedding planner came back and counted them carefully. Then he gave Elias a large, thick envelope full of money. Elias held the money and realized that he finally had enough money for a deposit on a very small but very warm house. Elias bought the house for his mother that same week. He was not the richest man in the world, and he still lived simply. But he had something much better than wealth. He had his own business, he had earned his own success, and his mother was now safe and happy. The wooden box was now full, but Elias understood that hope and hard work were the greatest treasures of all. Thank you for listening to this story. Try listening one more time. It helps your brain remember the words.